So I am so excited to start posting these videos and start practicing yoga with you guys. Today's practice is going to mainly just focus on the breath, focus on bringing yourself to that present moment, letting go of everything else, and then letting that breath lead you through your postures and taking that breath with you for the rest of your day. So let's just all start in a seated position. And take a moment to close your eyes, sitting however is comfortable for you. Let's all take a deep inhalation and a deep exhalation. And then let's bring our right hand to our heart, our left hand to our stomachs, and just continue to take those deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And again, inhaling and exhaling, feeling your body move as you breathe. Inhaling and exhaling, slowly releasing your hands, walking your hands forward. Let's fold forward, reaching your arms long. You're going to want to really relax your neck here. Good. And then let's walk our hands over to the right, breathing through that left side. And exhaling, coming back to center. And then walking your hands over to the right, breathing through that left side. Good. And walking your hands back to center. Slowly walk our hands back in. Good. Now, however is easiest for you, you're going to swing your legs around. We're going to come on all fours into our tabletop position. So we want our hands and our knees on the ground, really spreading those fingertips. Weight is evenly distributed into each finger, all palms, feeling that weight. And then just go ahead and take an inhalation. And this time as you exhale, we're going to round our back, tuck your chin coming into your cat pose. And then inhaling, reaching towards the sky, arching your back, cow pose. And again, we're going to exhale, rounding the back. And inhaling back up, arching towards the sky. And one more time, exhaling, rounding. And inhaling, arching towards the sky. Now most of us work at a desk job, and so all of these back bends, these arches, let's hold this for a minute. This is really, really good because working at a desk, we stay rounded most of the time. So we really want to open up our back, get those arches in, get those back bends in. Good. And as you exhale, let's just come to a neutral position. We're going to shift back on our hips, feet together, knees apart, and let's come into our child's pose. A lot of times we call this resting pose, but if you're a weightlifter, if you work out, sometimes this isn't so comfortable. So if you need to, if you have a block, or if you don't have a block, you can put a book between your feet to just sit back on if you can't make it all the way back to your feet. So just resting here, if you want, you can rest your neck, your head against the ground, resting that neck. Now we're going to stretch our arms, our shoulders a little bit here. So as you exhale, press those hands down and away from your body. And as you inhale, press those hands down and towards your body. So as you do this a few times on your own. Really start to feel those shoulders start to heat up. So exhaling, pressing down and away, and inhaling, pressing down and towards your body. And one more time, exhaling and inhaling. Good. Now pressing those hands into the mat. Let's come back to our tabletop. Round those feet, and let's press up into our downward facing dog. So with your down dog, You want your hips pressing towards the sky, your head towards the earth, relaxing your neck, and really just feeling that length in your back. You should feel it in your shoulders. All of your fingers should be firmly pressed against the ground. So we don't want to be like this, because that'll bring the weight into our wrist, and then you'll start to have wrist problems. So really pressing through those fingertips. Now take an exhalation and come out into your plank pose. Your hands should be right under your shoulders in your plank pose. Your body should be level in a straight line. And this is where you want your hands in your downward facing dog. So wherever your hands are placed in your plank, when you press back up, let's press back up into down dog. Keep your hands where they're at. Keep those hands firmly placed against the ground. Good. Let's find our flow. So inhaling out to your plank, leveling out. Let's exhale all the way to the earth. Now, if you can't exhale in a straight line to the earth, then you're going to want to drop your knees. So it's fine, drop your knees, exhale it down. You need to build up that arm strength. And then we'll inhale into our cobra. Now when you come into your cobra, you're going to want to lift through your shoulders and chest, letting your head come up last. Good. And let's exhale back down. And then pressing back up, we're going to press back into your downward facing dog. So however's easiest, if you need to come to your knees and then come up, find your way, find your own personal journey back to your downward facing dog. Now each time we come back to our down dog, we're going to want to try to lengthen out a little bit more. Let's pedal our feet here, lifting one heel and then the other. Good. Getting those legs warmed up. And let's take a big inhalation. We're going to inhale that right leg towards the sky. And let's just bend the knee, looking under your right shoulder, opening up that hip. And we're going to do a few hip circles here. Circling that hip. And then switching directions, circling the other way. Good. And exhaling back down. Taking a moment here, relaxing your jaw muscles, relaxing your eyelids. Let's inhale that left leg towards the sky. Bending that left knee, looking under that left shoulder. Good. And let's open up our hip here, circling and switching directions. Good. And exhaling back down. And again, let's inhale out to our plank, finding our flow. Exhale to the earth. And inhaling into your cobra. And let's exhale back down. And find your journey back to your downward facing dog pose. Good. So let's walk our hands to our feet to our hands, into our Uttanasana or our forward fold. If you need to bend your knees here a little, you can if you're really tight. And we're just going to take an inhalation, inhaling halfway up, flat back, and exhale, folding forward. And again, we'll inhale halfway up, and exhale. And this time, let's bend both knees as you inhale those arms all the way up. Good. Let's drop the left hand, reaching with the right. Remembering to breathe here. And exhaling back to center. Dropping the right arm, reaching with the left. And coming back to center. Let's bring those palms together and take a slight back bend here. So if this is as far as you can go, that's fine. If you want to go back in a deep back bend, be careful of your neck here. Good. And coming back to center, we're going to swan dive all the way back to our forward fold. And then stepping back, however is easiest for you, we'll come back into our downward facing dog pose. So let's bring our knees back to the floor, back into our tabletop. we're gonna stretch our shoulder muscles a little bit. So let's walk our right hand to center. Weight is in the right hand. Take that left hand, we're gonna inhale it up. And as you exhale, you're gonna thread it under your right arm, shoulder and head to the earth. And if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can bring that right hand behind your back. So bringing that around. Good, let's bring that right hand back down, pressing back up, lifting back to your tabletop. This time we're gonna walk our left hand to center. Weight is in our left hand. Let's inhale that right arm up. And as you exhale, threading it under your left arm, shoulder and head to the earth. Taking some deep breaths here. If you want that deeper stretch, bringing your left arm behind your back. Now, if you have any shoulder problems, you're gonna wanna be careful of doing this. But it feels really, really good if you don't have shoulder problems. Good, so let's bring that left hand back down, pressing down, lifting back up. Really grounding down through those hands, each fingertip pressed into the earth, rounding those feet and lifting back to your downward facing dog pose. Good. So let's take a big inhalation. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air. And as you exhale, you're just going to swing it through, stepping through into a low lunge. Now you really want to press through this back leg. You want this back leg engaged and firm. Nice long back. And let's walk our hands to the inside of our foot, so to the left. We're going to open up that right foot and come into our lizard pose. So if this is enough of a stretch for you, you can stay here. If you have a block, you can come down on the block. Or if you want, you can come all the way down to your forearms. Now, if you do this, make sure you keep that back leg engaged and firm. Taking a few breaths here. Good, let's bring those arms back to the floor, turning that foot back in, and we're going to step back into our downward facing dog pose. Remembering each time you come into your down dog, pressing a little bit more, stretching that back a little bit further. And let's inhale our left leg towards the sky. And exhaling, stepping forward, coming into that low lunge. Again, pressing through that back leg. Let's open up our left foot, walking those hands to the inside of our foot. And again, coming into your lizard pose. If this feels good for you, stay here. And if you want, come down on those forearms. Good, pressing those hands back into the earth. Let's turn that foot back in. And this time we're going to step the right foot forward. We're going to come back to our Uttanasana. So reaching for those toes, you really want to try to get your head as close to your legs as you can. And this time, let's inhale, bending both knees slightly. And exhale, straightening them. And again, we'll inhale, bending our knees. And exhale, straightening them. And one more time, this time as you bend your knees, let's inhale those arms all the way up. Good. Let's grab our right wrist with our left hand. We're going to shift to the left. Gently pull on that right arm, feeling that nice stretch. And then take a big inhalation, and as you inhale, we're just going to turn and shine our hearts towards the sky. Good. And exhaling back to center. Switching hands, so grab that left wrist with your right hand and shift to the right. Gently pulling on that left arm. And again, big inhalation, turning, shining your heart towards the sky. Good. Coming back to center, and let's fold forward, reaching for your toes, relaxing your neck. Good. And again, we're going to inhale halfway up, flat back, and exhale, folding forward. And this time, inhale, bend those knees, and exhale, fold forward. And one more time, inhale, bending those knees, bending, bending, bending. We're gonna bring our bottoms to the floor. Let's bring our legs out in front of us. Sitting up straight and tall, really grounding down, rising up. Take a deep inhalation. And as you exhale, rounding the back, relaxing your neck, reaching for those toes. And exhaling. Let's come back to center, sitting up straight and tall. Now, let's bring our right leg in. We're going to lay our right leg flat on the floor. And then let your left leg follow that same pattern. And let's just walk our hands over to the right into a tabletop over here. Pressing each fingertip into the mat, taking a big inhalation. And as you exhale, rounding that back, tucking that chin. And inhaling, arching the back, reaching for the sky. And again, we'll exhale, rounding, coming into that cat pose. And inhaling, arching. And one more time, exhale, round that back. And this time as you inhale, just come to a neutral position. Just walk our hands over to center. Take that big inhalation, inhale those arms up, and exhale your hands to heart. And again, we'll inhale, lengthen that back, and exhale. This time as you exhale, take a big exhalation, and see if you can twist to the left. Just twisting slightly, twisting at the ribs here. Good. Making sure to breathe. And we'll exhale back to center, dropping our hands, and bringing your legs back out in front of you. And here we go, left side. So let's bring that left leg in, laying it flat on the floor. Let your right leg follow that pattern. And again, we're going to walk our hands over to the left, placing your hands in that tabletop position. And take that inhalation. When you're ready to exhale, round that back, tuck that chin. And inhaling, arching towards the sky. And again, exhaling, rounding down. And inhaling, arching. And one more time, we'll exhale. And again, inhale to that neutral position. Walk your hands back to center. Take that inhalation, inhale those arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhale. Take that exhale, see if you can twist to the right this time. Twisting at the ribs, remembering to breathe. Good, and let's come back to center. Release those hands down. And then however's easiest for you, we're just gonna roll onto our backs. So let's bring our knees up, letting your knees come into your chest. Hugging your knees and just gently rocking here, releasing any tension in your back. And then dropping those legs. Let's keep our knees in the air, feet on the floor. And let's bring our hands parallel to our body. We're going to do a couple of slow bridges. So feet are about shoulder width apart. Really press those hands, press those feet into the mat, and take a deep inhalation. Now as you inhale, we're going to slowly rise up. So you want to bring your lower back up first and then your upper back. So let your breath lead you through this pose. So let's all inhale and slowly lifting up, vertebrae by vertebrae, let's lift towards the sky. And try to keep a nice long neck here. And then once you get up there, see if you can tuck your shoulders under a little bit. Good. Let's walk our hands together. See if you can clasp your hands, letting them hover over the floor and pressing them towards your feet. And see if you can feel yourself lift a little higher. Good. And then we'll slowly release our hands and take a deep exhalation, and just like you did with your inhale, slowly we're going to lower to the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae, letting that breath lead you back down. Good. And one more time, let's press those hands and feet into the mat. Take a deep inhalation and pressing up, inhaling, lifting up, vertebrae by vertebrae, squeezing those legs together. Imagine you have a block between your knees and you want to squeeze them together. Good. And this time we're just going to lift our hands up, so really press your elbows into the mat and see if you can feel yourself lift a little higher this way. Good. And then releasing those hands, take that exhalation and slowly lower back to the earth. Let's bring our knees back into our chest, hugging our knees, gently rocking here. We're just going to hold our right leg in, so let your left leg fall long. We're going to take a moment to really engage our left side of our body. So you want to flex that left foot, engage that left leg. Let's bring our left hand out. We're going to press it into the mat. You want your left shoulder really pressing down. And then take a deep inhalation. And as you exhale, let your right leg open up. So you want that right hip opening towards the sky. And as you do this, you want to keep your left side pressed down. So don't let that left side come up. And take a few deep breaths here. Let's exhale, bringing our leg back to center. We're going to switch arms, so let's bring that left hand to our right knee. We're going to take our right hand out to the side, pressing that shoulder down, and take a big inhalation. And on your exhale, you're just going to swing your leg across your body. So you're going to feel a nice back stretch here. Your right arm should be straight out. I have a wall here, so I can't, but you want that right shoulder pressed into the mat. Good, and let's exhale, coming back to center. We're just going to switch legs, so let your right leg fall long and bring in your left knee, hugging your left knee. And again, we're going to take our right hand out to the side, shoulders should be pressed against the earth. Flex that right foot, engage your right leg muscles. Taking a deep inhalation. And on your exhale, slowly let that left leg open up, opening your hip towards the sky. And taking some deep breaths. And exhaling, coming back to center. Let's switch hands, bringing your right hand to your left knee. Take that left arm out to the side. Inhaling. And on your exhale, twisting across your body to the right. Pressing that left shoulder towards the ground. And exhaling, coming back to center. Let's bring both knees into our chest one more time. And we're just going to slowly open up into our happy baby pose. So grabbing your ankles or your feet, and just gently rocking, opening those hips towards the sky. And exhaling, knees back into the chest, bringing your feet flat to the floor, knees in the air. Let's heel toe our feet together. You're going to feel your feet touch, and then you're going to bring the bottoms of your feet together and just open up your hips here. So we're going to slowly come into our Shavasana. We're going to start by relaxing our upper body. So take a moment to relax your eyelids, relax your jaw muscles. Feeling your shoulders get heavy against the mat, all the way to your fingertips. And taking a deep inhalation, and a nice long exhalation. Then we're just going to slowly let our legs fall long. So taking that moment to relax your lower body, relaxing your glutes, relaxing your hamstrings all the way to your big toes, letting your body deflate like a balloon. And taking a deep inhalation and a long exhalation. Now let's all just, as you inhale, just let any stress that you have build up, let any anxiety, any fears, any worries, let that all build up on your inhales. And then pause before you exhale. And as you exhale, just imagine letting all that stress go, letting it leave your body, leave your mind, and just letting go and letting be. So again, let's take a deep inhalation, pausing, and a deep exhalation. And just take note of any body part that might still feel a little tense. And try to really relax it out, feeling that full body relaxation. And one more time, we'll inhale and exhale, letting go and letting be. And we'll rest here for a few minutes. Coming back into your natural breath. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. And stretching your arms, stretching your legs. And then it's traditional in yoga to roll onto your right side, but if your left side feels better, you can roll to your left. So taking your time, rolling onto one side. And on your next exhale, just taking your time, making your way up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed if you want. Sitting up straight and tall. Deep inhale. And on your exhale, let's bring our hands to heart. Thank you guys for practicing with me today. I hope you leave with peace and joy in your heart. Namaste.